questions, any queries we feel. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I once again have a very, very warm and a hearty welcome to all of you, requesting each and every one of you to kindly put your mobile phones on an inaudible mode as we don't need any disturbance while the event is going on. Also, very warm welcome to the Secretary, Ministry of Coal, Shri Vikram Devdutt our Additional Secretary from Ministry of Coal, Shri Sanoj Kumar Jha ji. हमारे मिनिस्टर्स का आज के इस दिन में बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, आदर है, अभिनंदन है, आभार है. आप सभी से खास निवेदन, कृपया कर अपनी अपनी सीटों पर आप सब विराजमान हो जाएं. And as we already have our chief guest right in here, ladies and gentlemen, requesting all of you to kindly sit back, relax, and wait for the day to begin. All right, everyone. So I extend a very warm and a hearty welcome to all of you to the city of pearls, to the city of Nizams, Hyderabad. The city which is known for having the world's famous Hyderabadi biryani, Hyderabad. And as we are celebrating our second roadshow to promote surface coal Lignite Gasification, I thank each and every one of you for joining us here and making this event a grand success already. दोस्तों आज के इस दिन में बहुत कुछ खास होने जा रहा है. हमारे मिनिस्ट्रीज के साथ काफ़ी सारे डिग्निटरीज और लीडर्स यहाँ पर मौजूद होंगे. आप सभी से निवेदन है जितनी ज़्यादा हो सके आज के इस दिन से यादें लेकर जाएं और साथ ही साथ आपके पास कोई भी सवाल हो उनका भी जवाब यहाँ पर दिया जाएगा. Well, after we have celebrated this occasion in New Delhi, in the capital of our nation, India. We are right here doing this roadshow in Hyderabad. And I must say, it's going to be one of the most incredible journeys we are looking forward to. As we say that individual commitment to the group makes the company work, the organization work, the society work, and the civilization work. Today, we are promoting something which is absolutely fantastic. At the same time, promoting the surface coal lignite gasification is going to become a grand success as we're looking forward it as to the game changer proceeding with the terms and conditions. Shri G. Kishan Reddy ji, and our Honorable Minister of State for Coal and Mines, Shri Satish Chandra Dubey ji, our guest of honor. हमारे मंत्री जी यहाँ पर पधार चुके हैं. एक बार फिर बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, आदर है, अभिनंदन है, आभार है. बहुत अच्छा लगा कि आप यहाँ पर आए, आपने अपना कीमती वक्त हमें दिया. इसी के साथ हम निवेदन करना चाहेंगे, जितने भी लोग हमारे समस्त आज यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं, कृपया कर अपने अपने स्थानों को ग्रहण करें. Ladies and gentlemen, requesting all of you to kindly take your seats. Thank you very much. प्रगति के पथ पर, विकास के रथ पर चल रहा है देश मेरा. एक नए भारत का नया सवेरा, एक नया सपना देख रहा है देश मेरा. नमस्कार, नमस्कारा, अंदरिकी नमस्कारम, स्वागतम, सुस्वागतम, नमस्ते, नमः अस्ते. अच्छा, हम सब मनुष्य के हृदय स्थान में, हमारे हृदय में, हमारे चक्र में दिव्य चेतना और दिव्य प्रकाश का वास है. In our hearts and in our heart chakras resides divine love and divine light. So when we bring our hands together to form Anjali Mudra, what essentially is happening is the divine in me is moving towards the divine in you, acknowledging our true nature coming together in a human spirit of coexistence, co-creation and collaboration. तो चलिए आज के इस दिन की शुरुआत करें एक दूसरे को नमस्ते कहकर. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for taking the time out from busy schedules, do coming down and marking this spectacular gathering with the glory of your presence. बहुत अच्छा लगा कि आप सब यहाँ पर आए और आपने अपना कीमती वक्त हमें दिया. Can we all start this day by putting our hands together and getting some great energies to this room? Can we do that? Once again, a very good afternoon to one and all present out here. Greetings of the occasion, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this beautiful day we all have been gathered here for. Well, this is Nihar Gupta. I'll be the host for today. And we are here on the spirit of gifting with something extremely picky, something extremely choosy. I extend a very warm and a hearty welcome to each one of you to the second roadshow to promote surface coal lignite gasification. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I feel so honored and so privileged to be in a space filled with some of the finest leaders of our nation. The trailblazers, the trendsetters, the go-getters, the groundbreakers. In short, the movers and shakers. I would also like to thank our government who's looking forward and being our greatest backbone support system throughout. Well, today, as we sit here to celebrate the past, to enjoy the present, and to look forward to the future. Ladies and gentlemen, today's program is on to the scheme of promotion of Surface Coal Lignite Gasification Project, which is being organized by the Ministry of Coal. It marks another significant milestone in the Government of India ambitious rupees 37,500 crore initiative to promote coal gasification and accelerate the transition towards cleaner and most sustainable utilization of domestic coal resources. Our first show, the Roadshow, which took place in the capital of our nation, India, New Delhi. And today, I welcome you all to the city of pearls, Hyderabad. Well, this day is filled with a great pack of knowledge coming from the experts of the industry. So without further ado, let's completely do the proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request our chief guest, our guest of honor, and also our dignitaries to kindly proceed for the lighting of the lamp. May I please invite Honorable Minister of Coal and Mines, Shri G. Kishan Reddy ji, Honorable Minister of State for Coal and Mines, Shri Satish Chandra Dubey ji, Secretary, Ministry of Coal, Shri Vikram Devdutt ji, Additional Secretary, Ministry of Coal, Shri Sanoj Kumar Jha ji, and Dr. Buddha Prakash Jyoti ji, CMD, SCCL.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं
And now with this, we request our leaders to kindly come and join us on stage, requesting our chief guest, our guest of honor, and our dignitaries. Can we have all of you to be joining us onto the forum side, please? Ladies and gentlemen, India as a nation, it's a growing nation with a great potential. And today, we are leading with the same. May I please have मंत्री जी, आप सभी से खास निवेदन है, कृपया कर आप मंच पर आ जाएं. Also requesting all our dignitaries to kindly come and join us onto the forum side, please. Ladies and gentlemen, this is such an auspicious day we all are gathered here. I'd like to request all of us to rise for the national anthem and national song.
वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजलां सुफलां मलयज शीतलां शस्यश्यामलां मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्सनां पुलकितयामिनी फुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् कोटि कोटि कण्ठ कलकलनिनाद कराले कोटि कोटि भुजैर्हित खर करवाले अबला के नमायित बले बहुबलधारिणी नमामि तारिणी रिपुदलवारिणी मातरं वन्दे मातरम् तुम्ही विद्या तुम्ही धर्म तुम्ही हृदि तुम्ही मर्म त्वं हि प्राणा शरीरे बाहुते तुम्ही मा शक्ति हृदये तुम्ही मा भक्ति तुम्हारी प्रतिमा गणी मंदिरे मंदिरे वन्दे मातरम् त्वं हि दुर्गा दश प्रहरणधारिणी कमला कमलदल विहारिणी भवानी विद्यादायिनी नमामि कमलां अमलां नतुलां सुजलां सुफलां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् श्यामलां सरलां सुस्मितां भूषितां धरणीं मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे, जय 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 हे।
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, many a glorious days we have seen, but none as impressive as this one. As we say, nothing can surpass the euphoria of live and interaction. Well, as we say, this is just the beginning. I once again welcome you all to the second Roadshow to promote Surface, right in here onto the forum site of Coal Lignite Gasification. And with this, I'd like to invite on stage Shri Alok Kumar Singh Ji, Advisor Projects, Ministry of Coal, to kindly come and join us here to present a token of love, a token of honor, a token of gesture, a token of gratitude to our chief guest, our guest of honor, and other dignitaries. A big round of applause as I welcome Shri Alok Kumar Singh Ji onto the forum site. Requesting you, sir, to kindly honor our Honorable Minister of Coal and Mines, Shri G. Kishan Reddy Ji, our chief guest for today. Thank you so very much, sir, for taking the time out from busy schedules, coming down and having a presence part in. It's our pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much. Also requesting, sir, to kindly do the honors to Honorable Minister of State for Coal and Mines, Shri Satish Chandra Dubey Ji, our guest of honor for today. Ladies and gentlemen, I truly believe we can be a bit more louder with applauses. It's such a beautiful occasion for all of us. Thank you so very much, sir, for joining us and already making this day an absolute grand success. With this, I request Shri Alok Kumar Singh Ji to kindly honor our Secretary, Ministry of Coal, Shri Vikram Devdutt Ji, by presenting a token of honor. And I think it's a beautiful way, our culture, our tradition. Thank you so very much. With this, I requesting, sir, to kindly present a token of gratitude to our Additional Secretary, Ministry of Coal, Shri Sanoj Kumar Jha Ji. A small token of honor from our side, sir. Thank you so very much for joining us. And last but not the least, requesting Shri Alok Kumar Singh Ji to kindly honor Dr. Buddha Prakash Jyoti Ji, CMD SCCL. Thank you so very much, sir. With this, I thank Shri Alok Kumar Singh Ji for doing the honors for our chief guest, our guest of honor, and all of our dignitaries. Ladies and gentlemen, India is a growing nation with a great potential. The mountains we've climbed, the uncharted waters we have bravely navigated under our professional genres. All the late nights, the early mornings, the one more tries, and the never give ups is going to be paid today. We are known to be a very innovative and creative nation. And today, as we sit here at the second Roadshow to promote Surface Coal Ignite Gasification, I'd like to invite onto the forum side Shri Vikram Devdutt Ji, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Coal, to kindly join us for the keynote address.
Namaskar, good afternoon. Honorable Union Minister for Coal and Mines, Shri G. Kishan Reddy ji. Honorable Union Minister for Coal and Mines, Shri Satish Chandra Dubey ji. My colleague, Additional Secretary from the Ministry, Shri Sanoj Kumar Jha ji. CMD of SCCL, Shri Buddha Prakash Jyoti ji. Senior officers from Ministry of Coal, from station to be here at a very short notice. Of industry, the stakeholders and our co-travelers in this journey which we have embarked upon since 2014 to co-create a new transparent ecosystem in coal. Thank you all for being here. As you all know, we had the privilege of presenting this initiative which was rolled out under the guidance and vision of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, steered by our Honorable Union Minister Shri G. Kishan Reddy ji, and the Union Cabinet which had approved the financial incentive scheme on the heels of the first scheme which was approved in January 2024 of rupees 8,500 crores. This is a larger, enhanced, more ambitious scheme of 37,500 crores, which, given the situation surrounding us in the world, the geopolitical dynamics, is not a day too soon and is the need of the hour. When we had the first stakeholder interaction in New Delhi on 28th of May, we had a very encouraging response from all our stakeholders. There was a two-way communication, and we had given a commitment to you in that roadshow that while we would go to Hyderabad on 11th of June for the next round of industry interaction, we would not lose any time in floating the draft request for proposal. We are glad to know that we have done it in 1 week, which we had committed to do. Today we are in Hyderabad, and all of us are glad to be here, not merely because our Honorable Minister represents this grand city in the Parliament, but because, as the compere said, it's a city of pearls, and pearls denote a lot of things. It denotes purity, it denotes wisdom, it denotes depth. But most importantly, the industrial and technological depth for which Hyderabad is known. We very much want that strength to be part of building this ecosystem in coal gasification. So, you all know why we are here. We would request that the draft RFP, which we have already put out in public domain, giving 1 week to industry to give us their feedback, their comments. Please have a look at it if you have not already had a look at it, because we are racing against time. The whole purpose of this scheme is we are moving with intent, we are moving with a sense of purpose, and we are moving with absolute tight timelines. Before you start some work, as you do, having been very experienced in industry, it's always normal to ask oneself 3 questions. Why am I doing it? What the results might be? And will I be successful? These are exactly the questions I attempt and intend to answer for you today. As I go through each one of these answers, you will find in them a compelling reason to be partners with us in this program and co-create something for the nation. Increasingly of clean energy and energy transition, why are we here to discuss coal? That is because coal is the bridge. Coal is the present. Coal is also the future because it is the bridge to a cleaner world. And that is because the emerging clean coal technologies, which have been a success in other parts of the world for surface gasification, are the route to the future. I think all of you are aware of some very well-established facts about the extent of our coal reserves, the extent to which coal coal predominantly contributes to thermal power, and it's not that it is a legacy choice which we are reluctantly managing. It is a structural reality of our energy system for the foreseeable future. So the honest question is not whether India uses coal, it is whether we use it intelligently and wisely. So that is where, when I mentioned pearl and wisdom, gasification is the wise answer to that question. So all of you would be aware of the technical dynamics of gasification in terms of what it entails, the huge quantum of products which are possible through the gasification process, and it is not merely an industrial opportunity. It is a declaration of self-reliance, Atmanirbharta. A nation that can produce from its own resources the fuels, fertilizers, and the industrial inputs on which our economy depends is a nation that need not look over its shoulder at distant conflicts or disrupted supply chains. This West Asia crisis is an opportunity, and gasification is not a flight of fancy, or it's not experimental. Surface coal gasification has established commercial technologies, whether fixed or moving bed, fluidized bed, and entrained blow systems, which are in vogue in other countries. Our scheme is technology agnostic because no single pathway fits all coal types and all products. So therefore, the ingenuity, the entrepreneurship, and the diligence of industry or the developer will choose what works best for their feedstock and their intended output. And we are equally committed to encouraging indigenous technology development suited to India's high ash coal, so that over time, we not only deploy this technology, but also own it. In fact, later during the course of the program, we will have Sir BHEL today making a presentation on the indigenous technology. So in terms of Atmanirbharta, what we are actually saying is do what you can with what you have where you are. So this scheme is precisely that commitment, converting our vast coal endowment into strategic self-sufficiency across energy, fertilizers, chemicals, and steel. It is not merely a financial incentive. It is a declaration of national resolve. India's determination to convert what lies beneath its feet into freedom from geopolitical uncertainty above its head. In fact, the scale of import challenges which we are facing is not merely an economic problem. It is also a national vulnerability, and one that grows with every passing year if we remain dependent. The scale of this exposure is precisely why the government has moved with such speed and singularity of purpose on coal gasification. In fact, the foundation for this has been gradually being built over the last 5 years through a layered policy framework which was already in place substantially from financial year 22 onwards. In fact, there's been a lot of backroom effort which has gone into evolving that policy structure organically, and for this we are thankful not only to all the industry stakeholders but also to our research institutions which have also rendered a lot of service. In fact, in the first scheme which has been launched, there are 8 projects, out of which 5 are already at an advanced stage in terms of the rollout. The new scheme actually aims at increasing the consumption for gasification purposes from about 12 million tons currently in the one functional coal gasification plant which is there at Angul in Odisha to about 75 million tons additionally per annum of coal, approximately taking our overall consumption by 2030 to about 100 million tons. There were a lot of learnings from the first scheme in terms of what we needed to do to make this scheme more attractive, more flexible, and more incentivized to the needs of industry. Because we are acutely aware that coal gasification has many complexities. There is a huge capital cost. There is the technology factor. There is also an issue of the offtake of downstream products. So therefore, any entrepreneur who wants to become the first mover here has to have a policy framework which is structured and which incentivizes the amount of risk which he is willing to take. In fact, today we would also be in the presentation not merely dwelling on the general features of the scheme, but also on the request for proposal, which, as I mentioned earlier in my address, we had floated a week back. In fact, the RFP will give you a fair idea of what you need to do, how you need to do to be eligible under the scheme. In fact, the financial incentive scheme has also been restructured by making it more user-friendly. We realize there is a lot of upfront costs which the developer has to bear. So, compared to the 2 installments which were permitted under the first scheme, we now have 4 installments linked to specific milestones. There are basically weightages given in terms of the plant capacity, the project cost per million ton of coal, the technology tie-ups, the financial strength, and also something called the viability amount score, which will be explained to you in great detail once the presentation is made. In fact, upon selection, the applicant is good to go in terms of what he needs to do. So therefore, my appeal to all of you is that the Strait of Hormuz may be narrow, it may be far away, but its tremors reach us. West Asia tensions may seem distant, but they arrive at our doorstep as doubled urea prices, expensive LNG, and constrained chemical supplies. This scheme is India's answer. Not panic, but prayers, but a program. Not prayers, but a program. A program which is built on a very solid bedrock of technology research, proven industrial capability, ample coal reserves, and the unshakable conviction of our 1.4 billion people under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister and our Honorable Union Minister for Coal, that they can, they will, and they will provide for themselves. I thank the Honorable Minister for constantly pushing us, guiding us, and giving us his visionary leadership to take things onto another level. To the industry, the PSUs, the private sector, the technology providers, the research institutions, the financial institutions, I implore all of them and extend an open and sincere invitation, which I extended in Delhi. Co-create and partner with us. The opportunity is unprecedented. The need is urgent. The support is generous, and the nation needs it now. Thank you. Jai Hind.
A big thanks to Shri Vikram Devdutt, IAS Secretary, Ministry of Coal. So I must say we loved the intention, which is absolutely pure. Coal being the bridge, this is the present and this is the future. बहुत अच्छा लगा जिस तरीके से विस्तार से आपने हम सभी को बताया कि क्यों हम ये कर रहे हैं और क्या हम इसमें सफल हो पाएंगे एकजुट होकर जी हाँ. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to do the proceedings with a presentation for the day. Everybody, with a thunderous round of applause, आप सभी की जोरदार तालियों के बीच, I would like to invite onto the forum side Ms. Shivani Verma from Ministry of Coal to kindly do the proceedings and take us through what we have in store for all of you. Thank you so much, ma'am. With this, the stage is all yours. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hyderabad, and thank you for being here today. The Government of India has already approved the 37,500 crore scheme for promotion of surface coal lignite gasification projects. And the draft RFP has already been placed in the public domain, as promised. But this roadshow is not a marketing pitch. What today is about is you. It is about ensuring that every stakeholder leaves this room with clarity on the opportunity and confidence to participate. Before we get into the details, let me quickly place today's discussion in context. In May 2026, the landmark scheme was approved. On 5th June, the Ministry published the draft RFP and invited comments from stakeholders across the industry. Today's Hyderabad show is the next step in that process, bringing policymakers, project developers, technology providers, and investors into the same room to discuss the framework. In that sense, it is more than just a presentation. It is an opportunity for industry to help shape the final RFP before the application begins. The draft RFP is exactly that, a draft. It is on the Ministry of Coal website and shared with all of you for your feedback. If you have not read it yet, I would encourage you to do so today, because your input today can change what applicants face tomorrow. If any provision creates ambiguity or operational difficulty, please tell us. A better RFP benefits both applicants and the ministry. The feedback window closes tomorrow, that is 12th of June. That is your deadline. After that, the ministry takes the submissions and produces the final RFP. The process moves quickly from there. I'll give you the exact submission format at the end of the presentation, but I want to flag it here because I want it to remain in your mind throughout our session. Every question that you have today, if you think it could affect you or others, please ask. This is a competitive bidding process. The projects are scored on 5 parameters out of a total of 100 marks. If your project scores 40 or above, you qualify for financial incentive from the total outlay. The incentive is 20% of the cost of plant and machinery. That is a significant contribution to what is, by nature, a capital-intensive sector. So let's now talk about the caps, because these matter for your planning. Per project cap is 5,000 crores. Similarly, for any particular downstream product category, the overall support has been capped at 9,000 crores. The important exceptions are urea and synthetic natural gas. There is no product level cap for those. So if you are planning a urea SNG project, the absence of a product cap is highly significant. Your group, including all affiliates and subsidiaries, cannot receive more than 12,000 crores in total across all your projects. Applicants may be PSUs, private companies, JVs, or consortium of up to 3 companies. The application process is also quite straightforward. Each project requires a separate application supported by board-approved PFR or DPR, along with an application security of 50 lakh in form of bank guarantee. I would like to clarify that this is refundable. It is returned upon signing of the project agreement for selected applicants and within 30 days of declaration of results for those who are not selected. After selection, the applicant is required to incorporate a SPV, which is to be executed. The applicant is required to incorporate an SPV, which will execute the project agreement with the ministry, and before signing that agreement, SPV will furnish a performance security equal to 3% of the cost of plant and machinery. So ultimately, the selection depends on just one thing, your score out of 100. The next few slides will explain how those marks are awarded. This is the most important slide for anyone planning to apply. Please look at this carefully. The first parameter is viability amount score carrying 30 marks. So this is your bid. You tell us what percentage of your P&M cost you are asking for as financial incentive with a maximum of 20%. The lower you ask, the higher you score. So here's how the math works. We take the lowest bid percentage across all applicants in a round and divide it by the bid percentage and multiply by 30. So the lowest bid in the room, if it is 12% of P&M and you bid 20%, you score just 18 out of 30. And if you bid 12%, the lowest, you get full 30 marks. The parameter 2 is plant capacity carrying 20 points. This is split into 2 sub-parameters carrying maximum of 10 marks. You need to produce more than 4 lakh Nm³ per hour. Smaller plants score proportionally less. The same structure applies for raw syngas. What this means practically is, larger plants score better. So if you are close to a threshold, the economics of scaling up slightly may be worth the additional points. The parameter 3 is project cost per million ton of coal. This parameter measures total project capital cost as rupees per million ton of coal used annually, including both feedstock and fuel. Lower cost per million ton of coal is equals to higher score. So if your project costs 3,000 crores or less per million ton of annual use of coal, you score the maximum 20 points. Then there is technology tie-up as parameter 4, where indigenous technology or acquired intellectual property receives highest score, that is 10 points. Parameter 5 is financial strength or capability of the applicant, which is measured through the net worth relative to the project cost. Your net worth must exceed 20% of the project cost to qualify. Beyond that 20% floor, you score on a pro rata basis up to 100% of the net worth. So if your net worth is 76% of the project cost, you score 14 out of 20. The net worth equal to or exceeding 100% of the project cost gives you full 20 marks. But for consortiums, net worth is calculated proportionally by shareholding. If you hold 51% shareholding in a project, only 51% of the net worth is counted. Minimum qualifying score is kept at 40. Below that threshold, there is no incentive. Projects scoring 40 or above will be ranked in descending order and incentives will be allocated starting from the highest ranked projects. In case of a tie, preference will be given to indigenous technology followed by urea or SNG projects. The better project cost per million ton of coal utilized, and then finally, if required, the draw of lots. In essence, the framework rewards projects that combine scale, cost efficiency, financial strength, and technology capability. But before you score, you need to qualify. These are the gates you must pass through before your application is even evaluated. The first question every prospective applicant should ask is, am I eligible? The scheme is open to PSUs, private companies, joint ventures, and consortiums of up to 3 companies providing flexibility. However, there are few fundamental eligibility capacity of 0.5 MTPA of total project cost and should have no admitted insolvency proceedings or government blacklisting. Only new plant and machinery expenditure incurred after the date of approval of the scheme is eligible for financial incentive. For consortiums, there are few additional requirements. The lead member must hold at least 51% equity in the SPV until the 4th installment, and all members must satisfy the eligibility criteria individually, and consortium composition cannot change during the selection process without prior approval of the ministry. Finally, one practical point for developers planning multiple projects is the net worth committed to earlier applications is deducted sequentially. So it is advisable that you plan your portfolio well and capital allocation accordingly. The scheme is product agnostic within a defined universe. Let me walk through what qualifies and what specifically does not. A product includes syngas produced from coal or lignite gasification, as well as any product derived through a single or integral intermediate chemical transformation. Accordingly, the scheme supports a wide range of products across energy, fuels, chemicals, fertilizers, giving developers the flexibility to choose the value chain that best suit their business model. At the same time, the scheme is focused on primary gasification outputs. Therefore, further downstream products such as steeled or rolled products from DRI, fertilizer blends or explosives from ammonia, ammonium nitrate or urea, paints or polymers from acetic acid, and blended fuels from methanol, ethanol, or synthetic diesel are not eligible. This list is illustrative and guiding principle is simple. The objective here is to encourage investment in core gasification infrastructure and strategic products. I want to spend a moment on why the government is putting 37,500 crore into this sector, because it speaks directly to the opportunity in front of you. Let's take urea as an example. India's current annual demand is approximately 40 million ton, which is expected to reach 48 million ton by FY30. Today, India imports roughly 10 million ton per year, which is 20% of your demand. Even a significant portion of domestic production relies on imported LNG as feedstock. Coal gasification based urea is the most direct domestic solution to that import dependence. And then synthetic million cubic meter by FY30. We currently import roughly 50% of our gas. SNG produced via coal gasification can directly substitute into piped gas networks and city gas distributions, displacing costly LNG imports. And there is no product cap on urea or SNG under the scheme, and this is not an accident. Let's look at sustainable aviation fuel. India's aviation turbine fuel consumption was 8.98 million metric ton in FY25. By FY30, it is projected at 15 to 16 million metric ton. We have committed to 1% SAF blending by 2027, 2% by 2028, and 5% by 2030. Syngas-derived aviation fuel can meet that mandate, and this scheme provides the incentive to build that capacity. The point I want to make is the demand is not speculative. It is documented, it is growing, and the incentive under the scheme is milestone-based, ensuring that government support progresses alongside actual project development. It is released in 4 equal installments of 25% each, linked to key stages of the product life cycle. The first installment is released after achieving pre-implementation milestones such as land acquisition, environment clearance, coal or lignite tie-up, technology licensor or EPC finalization, and financial closure. Before this disbursement, the developer is required to furnish an insurance surety bond or bank guarantee equivalent to 25% of the installment amount, which shall be released upon disbursement of second installment. The second installment is linked to construction progress, including loan disbursal by banks or financial institution, 30% equity infusion, and actual P&M expenditure exceeding 50% of the approved incentive amount. This is a reimbursement, meaning you spend first and then claim. The third installment is released after successful commissioning and operation at 50% of the peak annual production capacity for 7 continuous days. While the fourth and final installment is linked to achieving at least 50% of the annual production capacity during the preceding 365 days. I would like to highlight the commissioning timeline. The projects commissioned within 5 years receive 100% of the approved incentive. If the commissioning takes place between 5 and 6 years, the remaining incentive is reduced to 50%. And between 6 and 7 years, it is further reduced to 25%. Beyond 7 years, no incentive is payable, excluding force majeure periods. This structure strikes as a balance between supporting project developers and encouraging timely execution. Beyond the core scheme mechanics, I want to highlight 3 structural advantages that are built into this framework. First, technology agnosticism. This scheme evaluates outcomes and not methods. What matters is whether your plant produces syngas at the required specification. Choose the technology that makes the most economic sense for your project. If you use indigenous technology or if you have fully acquired an international technology, you score maximum on the technology tie-up parameter and you also win the tiebreakers. So build it your way, own the technology, and you win twice, is how I have described it. This is an illustrative and not exhaustive list of technology players active in surface coal lignite gasification. It includes Indian players like BHEL, Nalwa Green Energy, owned by Jindal Steel, Thermax, and Simfer, and international players from US, Germany, China, and Japan. The list is presented for orientation and not as recommendation. Your technology choice should be driven by your project specification, feedstock, and product mix. Second, the scheme does not displace other incentives. Applicants remain eligible for state-level incentives, central government scheme benefits from other ministries, and commercial mining regime benefits simultaneously. Coal gasification is already a permitted end use under commercial coal block auction. So if you are commercial mining block winner, you remain eligible to receive 50% revenue share rebate on coal used for gasification. So stack this scheme on top of whatever you already have. Third, the scheme actively encourages pithead projects, that is, plants located at or near coal mines and cluster-based development for better infrastructure utilization and lower logistic cost. The next few slides explain exactly what applicants need to submit and how the selection process will proceed. This slide shows every document you need to submit. Applications go both to the e-portal and in physical form. It includes application forms, power of attorney, board resolution, constitutional documents, financial statements, declaration, affidavit, board-approved PFR or DPR, integrity pact, application security, net worth certificate, and a signed copy of RFP in the formats that have been referred. We encourage applicants to begin preparing these documents early, particularly the PFR or DPR and the board approvals. Applications will be processed in rounds. Round 1 remain open for 60 days. All applications received within the round will be evaluated together and incentives will be earmarked according to ranking. Round 2 opens the day after round 1 closes on the residual outlay. Round 3 follows the same logic and so on until the outlay is fully committed or MOC issues a formal notification to close the rounds. There is no advantage to waiting. The best scores go first and money follows the scores. Therefore, early preparation is beneficial because higher ranked projects receive priority access to the available financial incentive. Selection is the beginning of the implementation journey, not the end. Once the evaluation is complete, Ministry issues a letter of award to the selected applicant. I would like to highlight that where the ultimate beneficial owner is located outside India, the LOA will be issued only after obtaining necessary approvals and clearances. Following the LOA, the selected applicant shall have to incorporate a special purpose vehicle or an SPV, which will be responsible for implementing and operating the project. The SPV shareholding must exactly mirror the consortium structure submitted in your application. The SPV will then furnish the prescribed performance security of 3% of the approved P&M cost, submitted either via RTGS or NEFT into the designated account or as an irrevocable bank guarantee. This is returned when you achieve financial closure. The SPV will then execute the project agreement with the Ministry. This is the date from which your commissioning clock starts. And then comes the lock-in during implementation. From this point until the fourth installment is disbursed, the project developer must hold at least 51% equity in the SPV. No transfer, no sale without MOC's written approval. If you breach this, MOC can recover full incentive with interest at twice the 3-year SBI marginal cost of funds based lending rate, that is MCLR, and terminate the agreement. These provisions are intended to provide certainty to both the government and the project developers, ensuring that the entity selected through the competitive process remains committed to successful project execution. Since the incentive is 20% of the plant and machinery cost, so your P&M cost definition directly determines the size of your incentive. Therefore, this is worth understanding very precisely. P&M cost includes core plant and machinery, new and unused only, technology license fee, erection and installation cost for syngas and downstream product production, only expenditure incurred after the date of scheme approval. And it does not include land cost, site development, building and civil works except those directly associated with erection and installation, pre-operative expenses, financing cost including IDC and any other soft cost, previously used, refurbished or transferred plant and machinery from another facility, and any expenditure before scheme's approval. Accurate cost classification in the PFR or DPR will therefore be very important. We are 24 hours away from the end of feedback window. Everything you have heard today, if any of it raises questions, concerns or suggestions, belongs in the feedback form. Your question is never only your question. Every company in this room is navigating the same document. If something is unclear to you, submit it and help in shaping the final RFP. Please use the prescribed format provided at Annexure 9 of the RFP and clearly mention the relevant clause, suggested modification, and the rationale behind your recommendation. The feedback received by 12 June 2026 on the designated email IDs will be carefully examined and duly considered while finalizing the RFP. If one participant has a question, there's a good chance many others have the same question. And as we come to the end of today's discussion, I would like to leave you with 3 clear actions. First, submit your feedback on the draft RFP by tomorrow. We have deliberately released it for consultation because we want industry inputs before finalization. If there's a provision that can be improved or clarified, now is the time to tell us. Second, start preparing your PFR or DPR immediately if you haven't already. Board approvals, technical studies, financial structuring, and internal clearances all take time. The best applications will be those that are well prepared, not those prepared at the last minute. Third, finalize your technology strategy and partnerships early. Technology is not only central to project success, but also an important element of the evaluation framework and tie-break criteria. The Government of India has done its part, the scheme has already been approved, and outlay has been committed, and a transparent framework has been placed before the industry. Now it's your turn. Thank you for being here today. We look forward to your suggestions and to partnering with industry in making India a global leader in coal gasification. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shivani. I must say that was such an impressive presentation altogether. Did you all see the snapshot where we were talking about the technology players and India is already topping the charts? Incredible. Just in case, if we use this opportunity right and we use coal intelligently and wisely, I must say sky is the limit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now with this, we are moving on to our next presentation for the day. Hold your horses, a great pack of knowledge is coming absolutely all your way. Well, this, I'd like to invite on stage Shri Prakash R. Khandelkar sir, GM Clean Energy System, Bhel, to kindly come and take us through it. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And let's see what special do we have from Team Bhel here with us. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, and respected chief guest, respected guest of honors, the secretary, coal ministry, the additional secretary, and various partners in today's meeting. My presentation will walk through what is the coal gasification we are talking about and how it will be useful for the country to secure the energy Atmanirbharta. So BHL as making India from 1968, of course BHL is known for the power equipment manufacturer and EPC player in the power, but we are also taking up the gasification for the Atmanirbharta of the Indian energy system. So coal gasification basically is creating the chemical values from the coal and converting into various chemicals which are useful for the various industries. This is the journey of the BHL. We started our journey of technology development from 1988. The technology has matured in last 40 years. In 1992, we have made a first gasification plant of 18 TPD at our Trichy as a fluidized bed gasification technology and operated for 4 to 5 years. Based on the maturity of the technology, it has been upscaled for 168 TPD, and this plant is operated almost all for 20 years. The main use of the gasification plant at our factory was to produce the power around 6.8 megawatt, which was also fed to the grid, also meeting the furnace heating application of our welding technology process. Based on this feedback from this technology, this 1.2 TPD plant also is set up at the Hyderabad, which is presently operating, mainly targeting towards the developing the further chemical processes from the syngas produced from the coal gasification. As we move forward in 2021, we have developed the technology for coal to methanol. Basically, the gasifier plant will convert the coal into a syngas, and syngas will convert into the chemical that is called methanol. Methanol has various applications in the industry, including fuel. This project was sponsored by Department of Technology and supported by Niti Aayog. Subsequently, the methanol technology is further taken up to the next level of chemicals, that is methanol to chemicals in 2024, methanol to DME in 2024. Basically, DME is a dimethyl ether. Now we have seen the LPG crisis, and the DME is one of the best alternative which can be produced from the coal. This is the plant at Trichy, 168 TPD coal, Indian coal again. This is suitable for all varieties of coal and lignite, including the Indian high ash coal up to 45% of ash. Gasifier diameter is around 1 meter, 1.1 meter, and the gasification temperature is up to 1000 degree. And the coal size we can use from 1 to 6 mm. And it has operated for almost 10,000 hours. 105 plant operations we have done it, and around more than 50,000 metric ton coal is gasified. So the output syngas is used for the power generation as well as the furnace heating of the welding technology. This is the plant at Hyderabad, 1.2, mainly aimed at R&D and experimental purposes, which will also use for the chemical process development like methanol and DME. This is operating pressure is 3 bar, the temperature is around 1000 degree. The technology is again fluidized bed technology, fish size is around 6 mm, particulate removal through the 2 cyclones and 1 candle filter. Fuel we can use it, coal, pet coke, and many other feeds. The fluidizing medium is steam, CO2, and oxygen. This is our own technology. More than 50 patents are been patented, and there is no licensing from anyone else. It is a homegrown technology by BHL. This is the basic, I will say, the process of the gasifier. The gasifier heart is the gasifier reactor, which converts or extract the chemical values of the coal into an syngas. So the coal is feeding from the coal storage yard or mines, then vertically fed through the conveyor belt and then put into the gasifier, which produces the syngas, which further the syngas output from the gasifier is around 1000 degree, which is passes through the cyclone 1 and cyclone 2, which extract the particles and recycles to some extent, and remaining is the fly ash, which goes into waste. Further, since the temperature is around 1000 degree, we can also produce the steam from it, because the further chemical process is required around 200 to 300 degree temperature. Of course, this depends on what chemical we are planning to be produced from the syngas. So in case of ammonium nitrate, what we are doing for the BCGSL, it is around 1000 degree, which is being used to produce the steam, and then steam is further used for the gasification. So it is recycled or steam recovery, we can say. This is about the BHL's fluidized bed gasifier technology. The temperature is around 800 to 1050 degree. Pressure up to 30 bar we can give the solution. Particle size up to 6 mm we can handle it. Bubbling bed regime is the technology. Uniform temperature across the reactor, that is one of the USP of this technology. The merits includes the variety of, as I said, it supports the variety of feed coals, right from the low ash to high ash. No pulverizing required because its particle size around 6 mm. Dry ash is the output, which is one of the greatest advantage of the technology. How low heat loss through the bottom ash, better turn down up to 50%, steady production composition, and easy to operate. there are no moving parts inside the gasifier. As we discussed in previous presentation, once the syngas is available to you, syngas can be converted into many types of the chemicals. That includes the ammonium nitrate, ammonium phosphate, ammonium sulfate. Direct in DRI process you can use dimethyl ether. It can be converted the syngas into the DME, urea, methanol, and synthetic. Yeah, this is the in-house technology developed for coal to methanol. The capacity is 82 TPA, and the major system includes the H2S removal system, CO2 removal system, water gas shift reactor, methanol distillation system. Basically, these subsystems will vary based on the various chemicals what is being planned as an output. So these subsystems are, I've been explaining for the methanol as a process, but it is a DME, it will be different chemical processes. This feature is first of its kind in India. Methanol purity we can achieve up to 99%, demonstrated the conversion of high ash coal to the methanol, capability to design the higher capacity methanol plant, and the technology is patented. Around the 16 patents are been taken on this technology. Moving towards the further uses of the methanol, the technology further developed for converting the methanol into DME. This is again the in-house technology. There is no license from anyone else. Capacity is around the 8 tons. Of course, this is the technology demonstration, or I can say proof of concept. So it's a modular size plant. Similar basic advantage of DME, just I'm trying to place on the record. It is a similar type of the physical and chemical properties of LPG, suitable for blending with LPG. So LPG crisis can be very much achieved with the DME as a blending mechanism. LPG infrastructure, whatever we have today in India, the same infrastructure can be used for the DME as far as the blending is concerned, up to 20%. Beyond 20%, it may call for the certain modification in the distribution system. Next, the very small, presently the DME is being produced very smaller quantity, that too from the methanol which is produced from the NG. So there is an opportunity for taking up DME as a production on the large scale. The future of the technology includes the indigenously developed, of course. The conversion ratio is up to 85% of methanol can be converted into DME, and the purity up to 99 we can use. And no imported equipments. All the equipments are available in India. That also contributes to Atmanirbhar initiative of the India. The flame which you are seeing in the bottom, it is exactly looks like an LPG, which is basically this is the DME which is done and experimented. Looks like an LPG. Of course, the first opportunity is given by BCGCL to BHL, and the plant for the ammonium nitrate of 2000 TPD has been set up at the Odisha, Lakhanpur. The feed is the coal again here, 2,400 tons TPD, which includes the steam generation, CO2 and O2 also generated from the ASU. It is an integrated steam generation plant with the CFBC boiler. Again, this is from the BHL, and heat recovery boiler also from the BHL. Integrated common utility island, cooling towers, water system, and ATP. Basically, BHL is playing an EPC role for coal gasification and gas cleanup system in this project. Moving towards the BHL's technology leadership, the technology is developed in the national interest to strengthen the India's large-term energy security and the strategic self-reliance. It is 40 years plus years of continuous indigenous technology development, and since 1984, and now it is stabilized for the commercialization, and first opportunity is being getting executed through Lakhanpur. More than 50,000 tons of coal gasification is been done successfully, designed, developed, demonstration, and manufactured within India, no imported parts involved, validated through pilot and demonstration plant. You have seen the journey in 4 or 5 stages. This technology is matured enough, suitable for a wide range of coals, including Indian high ash coal. Of course, the BHL manufacturing capabilities, most of the audience are aware, were specifically in coal to chemical sectors, we have the process design capabilities, gasifier island, gas cooling, HRSG, coal and ash handling, coal cleaning, coal compressors, turbines, pumps, reactors, absorbers, strippers, whatever is required in the chemical plants, everything is in BHL's manufacturing range. These are the few glimpses of the BHL manufacturing facilities. To sum up the presentation, I will say in India, coal will remain as a main fuel feed for the power generation as well as the chemical generation in future. BHL has a hands-on experience in design, engineering, fabrication, and operation of the coal gasification plants. BHL is ready with the gasification technology. Further, I will like to sum up that coal is the gold. Plenty is available in India, and BHL understands the importance of the energy security and clean energy. We are ready to partner with all the stakeholders, including industry partners. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Prakash. We must say, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, BHEL being a very old player in the market already, very trustworthy, full of passion, full of dedication. But what actually keeps them ahead of the curve is their timely intervention. And of course, at the same time, they always think about the future. Indeed, it's a great opportunity, and let's all not wait for anything but quickly grab it. Thank you very much, sir. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to move on with the next presentation for the day. As I did mention, great pack of knowledge coming in all the way, and a lot of surprises for all of you. So without further ado, for this one, I'd like to invite Shri Prakash D. Chavanji, Scientist G. Simfer, to kindly come and join us here on stage. A big round of applause. Extremely innovative and creative, presenting Simfer onto the forum side. Yes, sir, please.
Namaskar, Honorable Union Minister, State Minister, Minister of Coal, Secretary, Additional Secretary, Minister of Coal, all the dignitaries on the dais of the dais. In this presentation, I am putting some light on certain technical aspects and facts as well as happenings till date. Next slide, please. We are aware about our potential mission as well as opportunities through gasification. I am skipping this slide. When we talk about gasification, basic requirements for the gasification are, first one important aspect is understanding of the feedstock, because this is the most important input to take any decision related to selection of the technology, to decide the operational philosophy, as well as to decide the pre-processing, downstream processing, to make the entire complex successful. Then comes pre-processing modules to make the feedstock suitable for the particular gasifier, as well as downstream modules to make the generated syngas suitable for targeted end application. When talk about the new feedstock or feedstock like what we are using, what is available in India, operational philosophy, because it is a naturally occurring raw material, so it always SOP will vary according to the feedstock characteristics. So operational philosophy becomes one of the important aspects. And next comes to build up the confidence in this specific industry, specifically in terms of successful technology as well as its operational performance, certain aspects related to the maintenance, failure, how to make it successful, definitely techno-economic feasibility, and if we develop indigenous technology, definitely it will bring down the capex, opex, and it will be attractive option to gasify the available resources. On the basis of these requirements, already we have completed first requirement, thorough characterization, thorough understanding of several feedstocks from various coal fields of India, and on the basis of characterization matrix, selection of the suitable technology for those identified feedstocks. This particular part, to the greatest extent, we have completed in last 1 decade at least. Now, then comes the indigenization of the proven technologies, specifically which are in practice worldwide, specifically entry flow gasifier under entry flow category as well as moving bed category, where required pre-processing to make our suitable feedstock suitable for the identified gasification technology, as well as to make this generated syngas suitable for the end application, establishing successful operational philosophy with the available feedstock through the selected technology, as well as techno-economic feasibility with that selected technology. Simultaneously, development of indigenous technology like a fluidized bed gasifier, then develop operational philosophy for this particular technology. Already we have developed at pilot scale level at 3-4 places in India. Now, upscaling of this technology to the demo scale is in process. Once we establish at demo scale, then techno-economic feasibility for the indigenously developed technology will be done, and both these feasibility analysis will be compared so that one can select proven technology, attractive technology according to the feedstock. Coming to the targets and program at CSR Simper, keeping in mind these requirements, we have established Gasification Center of Excellence at Simper Dhanbad, where we have developed various facilities right from lab scale, bench scale to pilot scale capacity, and associated all the characterization facilities for gasification, feedstock, generated syngas, and downstream products also. Also, Center of Excellence includes training center, CFD modeling and simulation center required for this entire program. Using these, all the facilities and expertise at our end, we have completed this important exercise jointly with CMPDI in 2019, where we have prepared gasification potential mapping for resources from MCL area, CCL area, and ECL area. And on the basis of these characterization matrix, we have identified suitable gasifier for all these identified mines, and also prepared strategy, pre-processing strategy, generated syngas strategy, and this report we have submitted to Ministry of Coal as well as Niti Aayog for to take the further steps. We are also supporting industries for indigenization of the proven technologies, where pre-processing, like to what extent washing will be required to make the feedstock suitable for gasification through the selected technology, as well as to what extent CapEx, OpEx will be required, what will be the yield through the particular washing step, as well as other required physicochemical characteristics, like specifically in case of entry and flow gasifier, whether the generated ash will be suitable to handle in the particular gasifier or not, what type of modifications will be required. Similar exercise we are doing, and we are supporting to industries for moving bed gasifier also. And simultaneously, we have developed 1.5 TPD fluidized bed gasifier, which can handle directly high ash containing feedstock without requiring any pre-processing, washing, or blending. And we have tested feedstocks from MCL area, CCL area, as well as Lignite from GMDC, Gujarat. Targeted end applications, it is quite comparable with the proven technologies. We have estimated the coal quantity required for gasification, surface gasification, as well as 16 grades. And this report we have submitted to Minister of Coal. So on the basis of 3 know-hows at our end, as well as 1 developed technology at pilot scale level, we are supporting to industry as well as this particular mission, as well as right from mining to up to the syngas generation and utilize conversion to the end product. We can support, and presently also we are supporting to various industries for estimation of the required coal quantity, capex, opex estimation, feasibility analysis, gasifiers performance analysis, as well as entire strategy and roadmap for the gasification area. So we are supporting, and we can support further for any targeted feedstock and targeted end products through the gasification route. For any queries, we will.
Thank you very much, sir. I think we truly can be a bit more louder with the applauses, ladies and gentlemen. These are the opportunities given by such brands, such big players in the market, and it's going to be incredible as we make a best use of it indeed. All right, so now with this, we are moving on to our next presentation. This is also a very picky presentation because we have somebody who have literally flown the skies to be a part of this event and, of course, to give this presentation for all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about this topic on state incentives for cluster-based development. Well, all the way from Maharashtra, आप सभी के बीच महाराष्ट्र से हमारे साथ यहाँ पर उपस्थित हैं. एक बार आप सभी की जोरदार तालियों के साथ स्वागत करेंगे, वेलकम करेंगे श्री अजीत कुंबर सर जी का, Joint CEO MIDC. Come on, everybody. Over to you, sir.
Good evening all. Honorable Union Minister of Coal, Honorable Union Minister, Union State Minister of Coal, respected Secretary, Additional Secretary, all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. During my presentation, I will be focusing on mainly 3 parts. First part will be covering Maharashtra's industrial overview, where another will be second, general incentives and the policy reforms considering ease of doing business, and third one will be specific to the incentives which are there for the promotion of coal gasification. Maharashtra being the largest state economy of India, which contributes nearly $660 billion of the GDP to the government of India. And as per the Honorable Prime Minister's vision to make India $30 trillion economy by 2047 and third largest economy in the world. Also, Maharashtra's Honorable CM has also put forth a vision where Maharashtra is aiming to achieve the $1 trillion economy by 2029. And Maharashtra will be the first state to achieve this target. So at present, Maharashtra attracts 31% of the foreign direct investment. So Maharashtra is ranked as the first in terms of attracting the investment. We have 70% of our population in the category of employable population. So largest pool of talent in India, 7 lakh plus graduates per year. We contribute to the 15% of the export of India, powered by the IT, gems and jewelry, engineering, pharma and chemicals. 64% of the service sector is contributed by the Maharashtra only, 13% of the MSME, and 24% of the GCC. So all this volume can speak a lot about the Maharashtra's industrial prowess. And we have more than 30,000 startups which are currently functioning in Maharashtra state. So what is the reason for the Maharashtra's continuous industrial growth? So this growth is powered and led by the major industrial development. Ward 1 port will be functional. Another Chandrapur, Gadchiroli and Wardha, these fed to the Mumbai by this dedicated access control roadway. So this is also one of the ambitious project, and it's already. So this is also one of the ambitious project, and it's already functional.